Welcome to the deep dive powered by puntingform.com.au. Shane Ciurleo, Pistol Pete, who's fresh off a Kalgoorlie bender, and myself. We're going to take you through predominantly the Flemington card, which was big, fat, and juicy. Really good horses, really good racing. 2-year-olds up to Group 1 superstars. Pete, how'd you pull up after Kalgoorlie?
Yep, fantastic. Already booked for next year.
One of the great trips he's tipping it, guys. He's very, very keen on it. Shane, how'd you pull up after a week of celebrating the Ds?
I copped some punishment on Saturday because the first two races at Toowoomba were delayed and put back, and the last ended up going at 20 past 10, and we were on Cutterbry from memory to collect 12 units, and it got touched off right on the line by a horse that was 41s into 11s, and that really summed up the day.
And if you think that's tough, imagine being intern Jono. That was 1:30?
1:30 in Wellington. Across the ditch, it was...
Set the alarm to get... done in the snufter.
It was an epic day all round, but the best fun. I thought the best stories were on the track, Jack.
One of the greatest sliding door stories of all time. Regan Bayless rides 2 Group 1 winners. I mean, it's a real sliding doors moment. He's good mates with Mark Zara. He was riding in Melbourne and struggling. Like if his management didn't sort of send him there to Sydney, he's a good chance to be in the other cupboard and missing 3 months on the sidelines or riding at Matoa. Here he is. He's ridden 2 Group 1 winners and he's absolutely airborne. Racing is a game full of narrative and it never stops coming, does it?
No, and there's a lot more to that story too, which we'll probably cover another time. But it was a real Stephen Bradbury almost moment there because the two horses that he did ride to win Group 1s were both
that's what's amazing
normal jockey had like a consistent jockeys who were either out with COVID or injury or suspension, and Regan just right place, right time.
Now he's on Wild Ruler in the Everest. It's just like you just got to hang around, don't you, in this game?
Just got to keep turning up.
That's it. And then
Dennis Pagan won a derby, Jack.
Let's start there because Dennis Pagan's horse that knocked me off for a house deposit was beaten by 30 lengths by Young Werther on Saturday. I don't know how to handle this mentally because I backed Very Elegant, who was 240 into 210. The market was with me. I was with the market, and we were all wrong. Incentivise is a elite beast, Curls. Congratulations. It confuses me, and we could dive into this for hours, I think, about how you handle this sort of stuff, or you just go, this doesn't make sense to me, but I'm just going to move on to race 8. But Young Werther absolutely gapping Dennis's horse and almost knocking off Incentivise, it triggers me. A little bit like Gus Gould saying, "Oh, he barely touched him." Triggers Curly.
Look, I suppose we were on different sides here on in the preview show, and I was like very bullish Incentivise because it got finally getting out towards a trip where it'll excel. I mean, he got soft. Fair to say he was diggerized.
Fair to say at the top of the straight, even at the 400, it was about the thinking was Very Elegant might put 10 on them here. Like it looked like he was under a wrap, and when you have that horse half a length outside lead in front of the leader, like it's not the leader, is it? But when OSL sits in front of 1A, I don't want to be 1A, and that was Incentivise.
Yeah, look, I thought like the whole race was just like you shouldn't it should have got beat, right? You had Mount Popper completely diggerizing it, Mount Popper going out negative 12.3, it's probably gone as worse as it's ever gone. It was a ridiculous ride. He gave the horse no hope. A nice fitness run though, leading into the cups. Like he's completely slaughtered it. It's got beat 20, I think, hasn't it? Whatever.
Mount Popper done by 20.2 lengths there, Freddie Kersley. Fred's riding really well. Fred's ride on Kalos, which...
pocket talk, Jack. He's riding fucking shit. You're just saying that because you're on Kalos at 20s, mate.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But it was an outstanding ride. I think it was the ride of the day. But he probably got this one wrong here, young Fred.
Yeah, you reckon?
But it lost by 20 lengths, and Johnny get angry for Dennis Pagan, lost by 29.2.
Young Werther looked like it was going to measure up, didn't it? And I reckon Incentivise decided to find a little bit. I was like, fucking huge. How do they beat it?
what price does it start in the Caulfield Cup? I think it's $2 or something, isn't it, at the moment?
I don't know. You might sort of question a couple of the horses behind it, like Young Werther and Chapada. But like,
I question the horses around it, but the figure's enormous.
Figure doesn't lie.
And the profile, that's 3 really big figures for Incentivise. It's box ticking. Young Werther, that's a huge figure for it. Chapada, just a number that runs big races and is very competitive. Probably goes well at Caulfield in 2 weeks or something like that. Very elegant. I think you just forgive. It was flying. I think D Moore's ride on Young Werther was elite, and it put very elegant in a bit of a position I didn't want to be in. Sir Dragon 8, forgive, 3 wide, no cover. Persand's ticking over nicely.
Yeah. I was interested in see what happens with Very Elegant because I think the grandfather of the mailbag, Mark Roden, did suggest that some of her figures.
I think he's the dad. The grandfather's Sugar Shane Baker.
Oh, so the daddy of the mailbag.
Yeah, Poppy.
Poppy Roden.
Big Poppy Roden.
He was sort of questioning some of the figures that Very Elegant sort of tossed up in the autumn. Remember he was sort of, a bit ho-hum about that whole autumn sort of staying events with Delisand, getting beat a length and that by Very Elegant. So, maybe Big Popper was onto something there and maybe she's gone as good as she can go. If you look at the puntingform.com.au data.
Amazing horse, though, at the same time. Like, it went that fast and it was under a hold.
I was going to say I'd be forgiving for 2 reasons. 1, the SP. 2, Damien Lane first ride on the horse. I think... Something
we also discussed too, didn't we, in the preview?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of learning come out of that, especially if they meet again, Incentivise versus Very Elegant, say, in a Cox Plate, and it's potentially a little bit wet. We'll see.
Although he did give it a good ride.
I think you can only judge rides and bets at the 400 metre mark. And at the 400 metre mark, you want to be all over Very Elegant. It was a great ride. The whole way through, you're like, oh, beautiful spot. But it wobbled at the key point when they were going extremely fast, you know what I mean? So
yeah. All right, let's move on.
Speaking of going extremely fast, I want to give him the rap he deserves because we just gave him a little bake. Fred Kersley's ride on Kalos was fucking elite. He's gone 11, 8, 8, 6 to the 4. I'm doing the actual sectional number, puntingform.com.au. 4 to the 2. He has gone as fast, just about. A couple went slightly faster than him. He's in the lead. 4 to the 2, he put the foot down and he broke their hearts. It was an outstanding ride. God bless him. General Bo's flying and very adaptable now. Swooped at Caulfield, sat off him here at Flemington. He's a proper horse, and the market always has a big opinion of it either way. Ranch Hand, I think, Curls, who you'd probably be a fan of, I think you were previously.
As a 2-year-old, I've done my complete bollocks on it, yeah.
I reckon this was like as good a run as anything in this race, and he's a good horse to follow out of it. You'll get a really good price next start. Ranch Hand was very, very good versus the pattern of this race.
Well, so there's Ranch Hand's another horse that we discussed, whether it was blessed by the cover and getting out late last start or whether it was really, really good.
I think the market said that it was blessed last start. Like it absolutely steamed ingratiating here late. Big steamer. General Bo was $4.20 to $7, friendless and huge.
Ranch Hand was $4.80 to $6 odd on the VOP.
VOP. The VOP. Victorian's official price.
Yeah. Anyway, good luck. Well done to those that had something on at Kalos at 20s.
But wasn't the biggest story of the day the return of the other big K?
But let's just. What about an emotional fucking roller coaster that is gambling? The biggest Cleveland steamer of the entire day was Gunstock. We were on. We took almost $4. Some of us might have. It started like $2.10, $2.20 the fare. It jumped with them. Jump and Jai snicked, panicked, got a little bit scared being 3 wide facing the breeze, went way too far back. The horse has gone fucking enormous. Brett Preble's ride on the winner was a thing of beauty if you're on it. Great ride, Brett. And Gunstock's a proper horse you can follow with real confidence. That was a big, sustained run. They all got tired in the last little bit. Proper horse, Gunstock. Poor decision early, Jai cost it the race. Then race 3, we're on 3 horses that all steam. 1 horse drifts, which is Elusive Express. It gets out past our price. Do you back it? Do you not back it? I leave it. Jai, inside draw, jumps moderately, uses the inside draw. 3 back the fence behind 2 horses in the market. One of the great rides, Jai. Lesson is, I think inside draws suit sort of those steadier jockeys like the Jai level. It's a great ride. Fucking should have backed it, didn't. And then we backed Zutori. The market came to us big time. And we got knocked off by one of the biggest non-winners of all time in Kementari. And I don't know if you heard, guys, but apparently Ollie screamed at it when it won.
Narrative.
Yeah, you swear it's the first time Ollie screamed at a horse.
Unbelievable stuff.
If I could get that audio, and I'd make it my ringtone.
I'd make it my my alarm clock. Actually, next time Ollie's in WA, I'll just get him to come around to my house, stand outside the window, and yell through it.
Just on his way home from track work.
Yeah.
Well, Peter, on his way to the races. You go to track work, come home, have a nap, have a sauna, have another shower, have your little fish for lunch, go to the races, wake up Pete on your way, would you?
Yeah, that's fair.
That was sickening, wasn't it? That was really cool.
Race 6.
It was sickening too, Kementari. Like, you knew that Ollie thought he had a heap of pony the whole fucking way, and he was just sitting on us. It was like going to be, but then because it's sort of in slow motion, you're like, well, it's Kementari. We're good here.
Still trying to stop, didn't it?
Yeah.
Had a look. Just a little.
Fuck. Yeah.
Race 6 was also of interest, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Luke Curry can't ride a winner at the moment. One of the great rides. He's back. Great ride, Luke. Well done. We backed this last start. It was plain when blessed that time too. Luke Nolan, moderate rider, wide draw, pinged, dogged it, sneaked, way too far back, absolutely savaged the line. Mystic Journey's flying, enormous performance of horse.
Yep.
Dumb decision early, Luke Nolan, cost it winning the race. We backed it. It's still my opinion. I thought Tokarangi for MD Maroney. I don't know who that is. No, I'm joking. And D Moore was enormous. Very good performance. I think it and Shake for the Hawks Yard with Jai. They were the 2 of the nicer runs from the back. I think even down to Odium was a good performance here. I think this is a nice little race. Good figure.
Yeah, I know that there were some flashing lights which will stand out, but surely the second horse was the run of the race. I thought the second horse scored enormous.
Oh, well, Best Stone sat outside it and run 4th.
Yeah, but it didn't. This horse ran second. Is what I'm saying. It's gone enormous. So they didn't walk in front.
Yeah, no, it's gone good. I agree. But
I think it's gone really good. You know, and you've got these those horses of that quality. You know, you can probably include Shake in that. Instant Celebrity was probably disappointing. You sort of mentioned Mystic Journey in that. Well, so they should be running on.
Anavisto was disappointing.
Yeah, I think so.
Anavisto was probably the most disappointing. I sort of saw the pattern the other way, but you could be well right there, Shane. I don't know. I mean,
you got sort of horses like, I know that it got back a little bit, Mystic Journey, but I'm talking about from position in run, they were entitled to make ground late, I thought.
Yeah, no, well, my view is that, like, say, Gunstock and Mystic Journey, if they showed intent early and sat 3 wide, no cover, or found a spot, I'm almost certain they win.
Yeah, I thought that's like Mystic Journey's go, actually. I didn't think like it's going to sneak and get home in -15. I'd rather it like 3 deep,
that's what I expected,
into the race from the 600-700 and getting up on them and out toughing them more so than, turn a foot and sprinting on a dime.
I had a much smaller bet in Mystic Journey because I thought Luke was a chance of snicking and doing what happened. But the Gunstock race, I anticipated he'd slot in sort of one back, one off.
And she couldn't have got home any quicker, Mystic Journey.
That's what I mean.
Like, that's as good as she can go.
Like, if you look at the Gunstock, the same thing. Like, the horse couldn't go much faster than it went. Like, it was just, you were legitimately too far off the pace to win the race.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're going to have to hope that it draws a gate next time, and if the same jock's on, assume it will be, because we are missing a few that we'd rather have.
Oh, God, we miss Jamie so much.
If you're gonna back that horse, thinking that you need the jock to do something outside of his normal riding style, give me your money. I'll bet you double.
Yeah, assume the worst. I think it's a good way to think with the tactics. I think Mystic Journey would probably over bet next start though.
Okay. What about the Bart Cummings? Because this race was just brutal, and you had something on Master of Wine at massive odds, and geez, wasn't that a run and a half?
Well, the way it ended up pricing wise, and I don't know if anyone cares about this stuff or they like it, I don't know. But we sort of ended up, we could have backed first and second, Grand Promenade and Ciurleo Rose, who were real focus points of the market, but we were hard against Shiraz, which was not a sort of a choice as such. It was that there's no real profile on the horse, and we couldn't sort of get it near. We got it close to the market, but then when it steamed, we were miles off it. Because that's the one they backed, this Shiraz for Waller and Oliver. I thought he gave it a peach, to be honest, and it was entitled to go better the way the market wanted it. I dogged the Grand Promenade and Ciurleo Rose bets and had something on Master of Wine, Mosh Music,
and Knight's Order.
Port Guillemay, who sat 3 or 4 wide the entire, and Knight's Order, yeah. Master of Wine was good.
Yeah, it was held up top of the straight,
wine.
Wasn't getting a run, picked really up, strong over the last 200, 300. Yeah.
I thought Realm of Flowers was like an elite piece of work. I'm pretty sure this horse is already in maybe a Melbourne Cup.
Yep.
I reckon it's flying. It was like a really nice bit of work. The Good Fight was really good. Mosh Music was really good. I thought those horses in particular, Master of Wine, Realm of Flowers, A Good Fight, and Mosh Music, outside the obvious and outside of the ones in the market, were really strong performances, and stayers who looked to be on track to run big races in the big races.
Jack, most people that commentate or review sporting events have grafted their entire careers on stating the fucking obvious, and Gus Gould's the captain of that. So, it's very easy to pick that up. This may be stating the obvious. But I think you're spot on with Realm of Flowers. It is completely and utterly only going around to be ready for one day.
And it's going around beautifully, though, isn't it?
It's going around beautifully. Like, we mentioned this horse. You mentioned this horse, actually, off its Caulfield run, I think, from memory. Or was it the Mooney Valley run? The Mooney Valley run, it might have been. Like, it still ran like the fastest last 200 or something. Or the second fastest last 200.
Yeah.
And it got beat. It ran 12th or 13. So it's just been ticking over lovely.
I reckon we backed this horse to win in Adelaide once. Tom Red.
Yep.
I don't bet in Adelaide anymore.
Yeah,
we backed it to win the benchmark 60 at Murray Bridge, and it beat Busker's Ballad.
Yeah, and coincidentally, thank you for reminding me, Peter, that there will be no more betting ever in Adelaide if you buy my product. And I'm not going to even tip stuff ever casually. I hate the place. I wouldn't mind living there, but I don't want to bet there.
Fair enough, Jack.
That is fair. All right, that wraps up Flemington. What's your week ahead looking like?
It's a glorious little week ahead, Peter, because there's not a lot happening. They cancelled Kyneton today because there's too much rain. Tom Brady's returning home right now. Sam Burns, God bless him, just won the PGA at 20-1 for us. Glorious behaviour. Also almost a fill on the Euro. But this week, Peter, we've got Sale, which doesn't handle rain. So it's almost an RDO, but we will price. Mornington Thursday and Cranny and Benalla double header on Friday.
Cool.
And then Caulfield Saturday. Caulfield's fat. Caulfield Guineas, Toorak, Martin Power, Herbert Power. Big fat card of racing in Caulfield.
That is a big fat card.
So, safe to say, we'll be betting heavily on Wednesday night as soon as they go up at Caulfield because we'll be all over it because there's not much else to do.
Yeah, well, this week, do you know what I'm doing this week?
Yeah, Peter, do you want us to keep steering or you just sort of... I can't tell if he's frozen or not. He hasn't moved much.
He's something, that's for sure.
He's our man.
He's been Kalgoorlied. This week I am going... What was his name? This week I am going to sign up to the world's biggest punters club. That's 2 weeks away.
Yep.
Saturday week. And I'm going to spend this week sort of working out my costume and things like that. And then next week focus on the form for the world's biggest punters club. While we record this, I could have been recording the show or doing form for Bow Desert, and I'm not betting at Bow Desert today, but we'll bet at Doomben on Wednesday, and then we'll sort of pick the eyes out of sort of Ipswich, Sunny Coast Friday night. If you blokes are betting at Cranbourne, I don't think we are betting. Have you not made some brash statement about Cranbourne?
We'll have prices, and we'll try and knock off a maiden, but we'll give you race by race numbers and narrative and yarn.
I'll do the same there for the Sunny Coast.
And while you've got me talking and thinking about things we're doing and selling, merch feedback's been outstanding. Head to the shop, get yourself some merch. Shirts are phenomenal. We do have the world's biggest hunters club in 2 weeks, and if you're Queensland based, a little bit like the AFL did last year and the NRL just did now, we're going to make it a pretty big event in Queensland, in venue. Potentially the king of the stream, Shane Ciurleo, will be there. So if you want to get involved, let me know and I'll start to make it happen. But I need a little bit of energy before I sort of get the card out. You know what I'm saying, Peter?
No.
Good chat, Pete. Jeezy up and about. Love it when you were energetic. He's also got about to back up and do the Victims of the Punch show. Guys, I think we'll leave it there. Big show. Short and sharp, so Peter can get on with his life and recover. And how much KFC did you knock over? Have they got a KFC in Kalgoorlie?
They do. I did have a McChicken though.
Would you like some chicken? I've got more.
I had a McChicken and it made me feel safe.
Ooh.
At 2 a.m.
Oh, that's nice.
3 a.m. 4 a.m.
I was surprised that you actually ate. Unless you had eaten the orange peel out of the old fashioned.
Amazingly, didn't have an old fashioned. Have about 8 shots of Fireball though. That's it, brothers. Bye for now.